Heyo YouTube, how you doing? I'm doing fine if you were asking. Thank you so much for watching. I do apologize for a little bit of the tilt you're going to have to deal with, but I only got so much good stuff to work with. So anyway, I found this story on mainstream media, right? But I want to read it from one of my conspiracy sites because they do an amazing job covering it. But this is a mainstream media story, and we're going to start about right here, right? A mysterious Wall Street options trader has just made an $11.25 million bet that something horrible will happen within the next 60 days. He then goes on to list some of the scheduled events and deadlines visible over the next 60 days, mostly are in Washington. When you add in the broad variety of geopolitical possibilities, it's a decent reason to stay extra alert. Now, we all know this trader is no Mr. Perfect or anything like that. By the way, they never go on to say who it is. And even in the mainstream, the couple different mainstream media sources I looked at, they don't mention who it is, so we don't know. But here is where the interesting part kicks in. Do you remember the Twin Towers 9/11 event? Well, apparently there were also some mysterious Wall Street insiders that made a huge profit predicting 9/11 to happen literally just before it took place. Now, this is a video that takes you to YouTube about, I think it was Brian Jennings, an ABC mainstream media report about that in particular. So this situation makes you embrace a serious precaution when asking, why are corporate insiders dumping huge numbers of shares in their own companies right now? You can go look that up too. JP Morgan in particular. They just dumped a whole bunch just a few months ago. It was like the end of 2012, like late October, November. And that's just one of many cases where all of a sudden, all these people are just dumping stocks out the butt. Why are some very large investors suddenly making gigantic bets that the stock market will crash at some point in the next 60 days? Do Wall Street insiders expect something really big to happen very soon? Do they know something that we don't? Now, right here gives it away to me. Every time the market has fallen in recent years, insiders have been able to get out ahead of time, right? Is this not a true statement? Now, are you the type of person out there that thinks that there are corrupt, greedy bankers, nasty, awful people who do have some sort of inside knowledge and do profit off the suffering of others? Or you the kind of person who thinks that these people are just really smart, really good at what they do, and this is just all coincidence? Well, I don't. I know, because I do believe that Larry Silverstein did. He's the guy who took like he made $7 billion, $4 billion, something like that. I mean, billions of dollars off the World Trade Center because he took a huge terrorist insurance policy out on them things like 2 months before they collapsed. So in my opinion, yes, I do think that people know this stuff. And they know that something bad's about to happen. Now, whether or not it's within the next 60 days, I don't know, but someone with $11 million to just throw around certainly seems that way. So I thought for fun what I would do since I heard this story this week. This broke in the middle of the week. Just for fun, I would cover all sorts of different stories that also broke this week. We'll start with the economy, and then we'll do geopolitical events that could indeed show that something is about to break, just for fun. Let's just start with our economy for first of all. You see this? Treasury forecast $16.763 trillion in debt on March 31st, translating to 105% debt to GDP. Anybody who's been watching my channel knows this is why the United States is going to collapse, why ain't nobody's getting any pension, because right now we are quickly getting to where Greece was when they started not being able to pay their bills. This was like 101.5% just a few months ago. It was just 103.8% like a month or two ago. It's already up to 105%. So within the next 4 years, because they have no plans to fix anything, we're gonna be up to like the 125, 130% debt. It's unsustainable. Can't happen. That came out this week. And Europe is just about as worse than ever. Now, not only are they still dealing with their big, huge fiscal debt crisis, now all sorts of crazy bank fraud scandals are rocking that continent. You got Italy involved, Spain involved. It's destroying. And speaking of talking about Greece levels earlier, speaking of them, as economic crisis worsens, desperate Greeks fight for food. I thought everything was good over there. Oh, is this the big lie? Just like Benghazi Gate was a big lie? Just like Obama saying, that bracking up the national debt was unpatriotic, just like he would never ship jobs overseas, just like he would never do signing statements, and how Bush was a big, jerk for doing signing statements and stuff like that. They're lying about that just like they're lying about this. That's why there's Black Hawk helicopters in the sky. That's why they're shooting down blanks over cities. That's why they're running drill after drill after drill. That's why they're buying all sorts of ammunition. That's why this country is on the most high level alert preparedness it's ever been, because they know this is about to all come crashing down. And this number right here proves it. Black and white, 167,000%. Now let's cover Argentina, what's also going on in South America. Argentina, they're freezing their food prices for a couple months. Argentina announced a 2-month price freeze on supermarket products Monday in an effort to break spiraling inflation. I don't know if that's in our future, but something like that could happen. How would you like that? Be driving just in your car one day or just watching TV and all of a sudden news comes on. Oh, breaking news. We're about to freeze food prices for the next 2 months because there's about to be a massive hike. You think the grocery stores are a fun place to be whenever something like that comes across the news? Look what Venezuela just did. Venezuela launches first nuke and currency wars, devalues currency by 46%. Let me scroll down here for you a little bit. Venezuela devalues from 4.30 to 6.30 Bolivar. Sorry. Venezuela new currency body to manage dollar inflows. Caracas consumer prices rose 3.3% in January. And that, ladies and gents, of Caracas is how you just lost 46% of your purchasing power. Now I have something here that I want to read to you. Then this is a speech from Ben Bernanke back in 2002. He said then, when he was governor of the Federal Reserve Board, that if he was ever in a situation like he is today, that he would do 5 things. He would make interest rates, they would go to zero. He's done that. He would buy securities to expand the Fed's balance sheet. He's done that. He would increase the money supply. He's done that. He would buy the country's debt, meaning quantitative easing 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's done that. And the last, 5th, and final thing, he would devalue the dollar by 40%, just like they did in the Great Depression with the dollar. They devalued it by 40%. Venezuela just did it 46%. They will just do this stuff overnight. Is it going to happen in the next 60 days? I don't know. Now let's talk about geopolitical events. You know what also came out this week? Guess what happened? Iran came out and said they're a nuclear state now. And what did we hear Netanyahu say last year at the UN, right? We're going to do whatever we have to, whatever that even means. We're going to do whatever we have to by March, April, May of 2013 before Iran becomes a nuclear state, because we need to preserve our right to exist. And don't forget that Egypt and Syria are getting worse and worse. Don't forget the Israeli airstrike on Syria just, a week or 2 ago. And don't forget the whole terrorist spontaneously attacks erupting in Algeria and Mali. And also don't forget that South Africa they're joining with Brazil, Russia, India, and China. They're all part of this whole big group that's deciding to drop the dollar and do their own thing. So you have the Middle East that's about to blow up because of this right here, because Netanyahu says this can never happen. Well, now it's happened, so we'll see what happens with that. Africa's on fire. What else we got? Let's go to Asia. Chinese warship prepared to fire a Japanese destroyer last week. It seems that the world may have been this close to World War III as recently as last week, because they're in this huge territorial dispute over there. China, Japan, India, and Vietnam are also involved. And they're, like as you see, could any day just have a military huge confrontation over there. And for whatever reason, Russia thought it'd be fun. Of course, Russia denies it. But Russia supposedly decided to fly their jets over there and intrude on their borders. And so now Japan's all pissed off, and I'm sure China's not happy either. So just for whatever reason, Russia decided if that's what they did, maybe they didn't, because they're denying it. Maybe Russia didn't. Maybe they didn't do it. But I don't know why not. Why not? Everything else is on fire. Why not just provoke? Let's just stoke the fire a little bit more. You know what I mean? And then last but not least, my favorite, North Korea decides they're going to do more nuclear launch tests to defy the United States. Their words, not mine. They're a whole new phase of confrontation, I believe is what they called. And they have released a video of them or something or someone attacking some United States city. The bizarre footage uploaded on the Secretive State's official website comes as Kim Jong-un prepares for an imminent nuclear weapons test. The propaganda movie depicts a smiling lad dreaming of a regime rocket being launched into the air and traveling to America. The 3.5-minute vid then shows a mystery city full of skyscrapers being attacked with multiple explosions, while the Stars and Stripes flag flutters in the background. Now, I'll put this below so you can see it for yourself. It's pretty interesting. There's people saying that's actually from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I don't know. I don't have that game, so I have no idea. So I'll put this below for you to see. So, is something going to break in 60 days? I don't know. But is it absolutely meanwhile, this is all going on. A historic blizzard's about to pound the East Coast. And meanwhile, on top of that, you have the whole ring of fire popping with 6, 7, and 8 huge earthquakes just day after, well, not necessarily day, a lot. Really frequently. That whole region is just popping. So all this is going on. So is this cause for not alarm, but to stay extra alert, as this here article mentions, because of what's going on? I think so. Stay extra alert, right? Does that mean panic? No. Does that mean fear? No. Stay extra alert. Because is it possible? Yes. Is it going to? No. But like I said, someone with $11.5 million basically seems to think so, that they can just toss around. So we'll see what happens. And I want to make sure, oh, by the way, I almost forgot. I'm so glad I didn't forget to do this. Which one is this? Is it this? No. Sorry. Please bear with me for just a second here. I think this is it. Yes. Currency wars often lead to trade wars, which in turn can devolve into hot wars. Anybody who's been watching my channel knows that Lindsey Williams back in October of last year said, or not, I'm sorry, not in October of last year, like January, February of 2012, we're going to see 4 things happen before the dollar collapses. We're going to see a crack in the derivatives market, which we saw with JP Morgan, and all sorts of billions of dollars was lost in derivatives. Then he said we're going to see currency wars, which in the last month, I all of a sudden started seeing currency wars being reported everywhere. I've done a video proving that. And then he said we're going to see trade wars, and then we're going to see interest rates rise, and then the dollar's going to collapse. Right? Well, now here we see currency wars leading to trade wars. I see currency wars on Zero Hedge almost every day now. If I start seeing trade wars on Zero Hedge every day, we're on our path. It's really going to happen. And there's already talk. George Soros has just came out and said that he expects interest rates to rise and everything. So we can all hope and pray that it's not going to happen, but history shows us, what happens at times like these. We've been through this before. It's going to happen again. It sure would be nice and hope to pray that it's not going to, but you can't avoid the consequences of avoiding reality forever. Eventually it's going to catch up to you. And it looks like we're about to enter our next phase of the dollar collapse with this trade wars stuff. So thanks to everyone for watching. I'll put all these links below. I know it's kind of an exhausting video. I do apologize for that, but we may get to see something happen in 60 days. And so I thought now would be and an asteroid, supposedly, it's going to have its closest shave with the Earth next week, like February 15th. And it's funny how NASA on one day is freaking out about it, and on the next day says don't worry about it. And then we have the Comet ISON coming later, but that's way later in the year. But that asteroid's coming and has either, like I said, closest shave or one of the closest shaves to the Earth ever, and that's within a week. So I'm going to quit talking as I just keep going on and on about stuff. So I'll put all these links below. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for all your encouragement. Thank you for supporting me, because now I need it more than ever. So thank you so much, everyone out there. Love you all. See you on the next video. Bye.